verse 42 through 47. Families are there for us to meet our needs when we have them. To kind of, if we're sick, to help us out. If we're hungry, to help feed us. And there's this passage that maybe you haven't read in this context before, but it's a passage that I know very well. And it's Acts chapter 2, verse 42 through 47. It says, "They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common." That doesn't sound like a family, right? I know. "Selling their possessions and goods, they gave to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people, and the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved." And this is just a passage that when I've always read it, it's always been in the context of what did the early church look like? Right? What did the first Christians do? What would it have been like to be in a part of the first church? And that's absolutely, what it is. That's exactly what it would look like to be a part of the church. But when you read some of it, and I know some of it makes some people uneasy, this idea of giving what you have so that other people can have, it becomes difficult. When we just read it in that setting, so because they don't have, I have to give up what I've worked for to help them out. Right? And while we might not say it out loud, it's definitely inside of us. Even if we do it or don't do it, that thought crosses our mind. Why don't they work for what they don't have? And so it's a struggle, and I've often just kind of stayed away from that whole discussion. But as I was thinking about family, and I was thinking about what a family looks like, what a family does, I just kept coming back to this verse. And finally, it just kind of dawned on me, they're not giving the things that they have to the people in need because they have to. They're not selling what they have. They're not providing for others who don't have because they have to. But it's a natural response when we take seriously the words of Jesus that he says in Matthew chapter 12. He says, Jesus, while he was still talking to the crowd, his mother and his brother stood outside wanting to speak to him. And someone told him, "Jesus, your mother and your brothers are standing outside wanting to speak to you." And he replied to them, "Who is my mother and who are my brothers?" And pointing to the disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of the Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." Jesus, this kind of blew their mind. Jesus said, the people that are family are those that believe the way that I believe. The Christians are my family. And so the disciples, that's where we go back to this verse in Acts. The disciples took this literally. They took it very seriously, that believers, that Christians are family. And so to give what I have to help out, to help you out, or to help you out, that's nothing. Because you're a brother, you're a sister. Like I wouldn't stop twice. My brother's over here to help him out if there's some way I can meet his need. And that's what the disciples said. They said, "You are family. We are a family." And that's what a family does. Right? A family meets each other's needs. A family looks out for you, and a family helps you when you're stuck, feeds you when you're hungry, clothes you when you're naked, and they just help you out every turn. That's just what a family does. But sometimes we don't have that family, right? Not all of us have been blessed with that. Not all families are believers. And Jesus says that there's going to be families that are split. Because of Jesus, the families are going to be split. And so we have to kind of understand that if we believe that Jesus died for us, we're a family, all of us. And so if you don't have that family, families, whose family's perfect? Raise your hand. I got one. Here's the great thing about the Bible, is since day one, and I'll explain why this is a great thing, but there are no perfect families in the Bible. right? And so we have a great book that has a real truth about what life is really like. The first family, right? Cain and Abel, the brother killed his brother, right? So from family one, there's been family problems. There's been family issues, and so we can't sit here and say, you know, my family's perfect, right? There's a great story, and we're going to play a video of it. So if someone wants to catch these lights, it's a natural, excuse me. This is an imperfect family, and I know you know the story. It's the prodigal son, and it's a fantastic story of what a son who is just fed up with the way life is, and believe me, he doesn't have it tough. And sometimes when we're in this situation, we think, man, this is dumb. I want to leave. I want to go. And when we get out there, we're not real sure why we left. So here's the skit guys. Go ahead, man.
You ever get tired of your day-to-day average existence? I know I do. Or at least I should say that I did. And then I decided to do something about it. You see, conventional wisdom says that you live your life, and when your parents die, they give you what they have left over, an inheritance, right? Sorry, that was not good enough for me. So I decided to do something about it. So I walked straight up to my dad, looked him square in the eye, and I said,
Dad, I want what's coming to me right now. My son is looking at me, demanding what he thinks he deserves. And all I could be thinking was, I'd like to give him what he deserves. I brought him into this world, and I can take him out, and I can make another one just like him. But he's my son, and I love him, and he wants money, so I gave it to him. And the next thing I knew,
I was out of there. Kissed this boring place goodbye. I had places to go and people to see. So the first thing I did was,
he got lost. My son, he's no Magellan. I heard he got lost at least 4 times before he made it over hometown.
It wasn't 4 times, okay? It was 3. And besides, 1 doesn't count because I'm asking this guy for directions, right? And he's all trying to tell me I can't understand a thing he's saying, and I'm like, okay. And then the other 2, well, you know what? The only reason I can't follow directions is because somebody never taught me.
Is that what he said, that I never taught him? No, I taught him, he just never listened.
Listen, it doesn't matter. The point was, I got out of there, and I began to live it up. Oh, I'm telling you, I had the friends, the money, the clothes, the food, and the ladies. What can I say about the ladies?
I can say something about the ladies. They weren't ladies. They may have been women, but they were not ladies.
No, wait. That's not fair, okay? Now, Carla and Sheila, they were ladies. No, they really weren't. Okay. Marcy, all right, and Donna. Yeah, I guess they weren't ladies.
As I was saying.
Wait!